What's up, YouTubers? Red Crimson, the Game Master here. It seems like Microsoft has won over the FTC and will be able to purchase Activision. So they've finally got their wish. They own Activision now, and I guess gamers are happy with it, I guess, and the other half really don't care. That's a really big win for Microsoft, man. That 70 billion that they spend, or was it 90 billion? All that money that they spent, they finally got their wish. They finally own Call of Duty. They finally own all of Activision IPs. And Microsoft will be cleaning house, making sure that Activision gets everything that they need. And they'll be making the company a lot better and let them push out more games, more of the IPs that they have in their backlogs instead of Call of Duty every year. Now, of course, they're still going to be making Call of Duty, but Microsoft is going to make sure that Activision pumps out all their great IPs that they have and don't only focus on Call of Duty. And speaking of Microsoft winning over FTC, this deal also affects Nintendo. Microsoft has actually signed a 10-year contract with Nintendo to put Call of Duty on all their upcoming consoles for the next 10 years. And not only that, to sweeten the deal, they also are letting Nintendo in on the rest of the IPs that Activision has in their backlog. Yes, you heard that right. Nintendo will not only be getting Call of Duty franchise on their system for the next 10 years, but they'll also be getting a lot of Activision's IPs. And we all know, at least me, Activision has a lot of good games in their backlogs, man, and I'm glad Microsoft stepped in. Well, I'm not gonna say I'm glad. It is what it is, I guess. I mean, Microsoft is just trying to buy the competition out, but so far it seems really good for gaming, man. Microsoft is willing to share. Microsoft is willing to put their games on other platforms so everybody can enjoy their games, and they offered a similar deal to Sony, and I heard Sony turned it down, and now I heard they actually may have signed that 10-year contract as well. But Nintendo's getting the better end of the stick because they're, like I said, they're also getting Activision backloggers games as well. And you know what, I gotta admit, I'm loving this relationship that Nintendo and Microsoft has. Microsoft, man, they love Nintendo. They've loved Nintendo since the very beginning, man, and they showed Nintendo a lot of love. They put, Ori and the Blind Forest on the Switch, and they sold great. I think they sold a lot better on the Switch than they did on the Xbox console, but whatever though. I mean, that's not the point here I'm trying to make. Nintendo and Microsoft has a very great relationship, man, and they're really taking care of Nintendo. They're shaking hands, and I only hope that with Nintendo's new system or the Switch 2, whatever they're coming out with, we really don't know what Nintendo's doing for their next system. We don't know if it's going to be a Switch 2 or a new home desktop console. We don't know. But with this deal in place with Microsoft, here's hoping, and I'm hoping that Nintendo, finally gets back into the power game or makes a power efficient console that can support the future Call of Duty games. There's no way they can support these titles from Activision, such as Call of Duty and others, with weak hardware. But I'm pretty confident that Nintendo's next system is going to be a lot more powerful than the Nintendo Switch. That's a given. How powerful it's going to be, we all don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be, I'm confident it's going to be power efficient, power sufficient to run any Call of Duty games, any future Call of Duty games. So just hoping, man, Nintendo go ahead and just give us a powerful console. I'm saying? Even if they sell a console at a loss and make it up in revenue, as time goes on, chips gets old and, cheaper in price. So, but I'm pretty sure, man, I'm kind of confident that it will, because, and also too, not to mention, it's pretty impressive what Nintendo and developers, third-party developers, have been able to pull off on a Nintendo's old hardware. The Switch has been out for six and a half, going on 7 years. Next year, 2024, will be 7 years. So right now, the Switch is sitting at 6.5 years in the market, and 9 if you really want to count the chip, because the chip that's in the Nintendo Switch is from 2015, and the Switch launched in 2017. So the chip is a 9-year-old chip, and the Switch is been on the market for 6.5 years, but it's been incredible and amazing the titles that came out on the Switch. A lot of people thought the Switch couldn't pull off a lot of the games that the Xbox One and PS4 had, big titles such as Wolfenstein, Doom, and The Witcher 3. But I mean, Nintendo and developers have proven, the industry and fans wrong time and time after again, man. It's not really about power, but how you use that power efficiently. And if the Switch the old outdated Switch can push out good visuals still in 2023 and still put out, a lot of the games that's on PS5 and the current consoles now. I mean, imagine what they'll do with a more powerful system. Yeah, so moving on here to the next story. And for you Mortal Kombat fans out there, there's a new Mortal Kombat movie on the horizon, but don't get too excited. It's not for the movie theaters box office, but more so an animated movie you can purchase on digital and 4K Ultra Blu-ray disc. It revolves around Johnny Cage. So for you Johnny Cage fans out there, this Mortal Kombat animated movie is basically about Johnny Cage's origins. It shows how he came to be and how he became the martial arts champion from the Earth realm. So I used to be a big Johnny Cage fan back in the days. I thought he was real cool, the glasses and everything, man. But I think in Mortal Kombat 2, he kept on dying in all of them. I mean, you guys feel free to correct me in the comment section, but he died too many times, man. So basically, Johnny Cage, even though he was a cool character back in the days, back in the 90s, I just think, man, actually Johnny Cage is like the weakest character in Mortal Kombat, man. Come on, man, he died, you know what I'm saying? And even the movie, the 90s movie, when he was fighting Scorpion was giving it to him. So basically, Johnny Cage really isn't all that, man. He just has a big mouth and he gets his ass kicked, plus he died. But I used to think he was the coolest character back in the days. He had that cool shadow kick, he had a split move, and then he had a little shadow uppercut. That was one of my favorite moves, and he had the little curve fireball. He was a dope character back in the days, man. But he did kind of got back into himself. He got good, and I believe it was Mortal Kombat 10. He was actually pretty good in that game, man. He kind of redeemed himself somewhat. I guess they're trying to make him good, because he was kind of like the leading character, one of the leading characters in Mortal Kombat 10. But yeah, so for you Johnny Cage fans out there, MK fans, check out that digital 4K Blu-ray Mortal Kombat Legends cage match. Now, moving on to the next story. So, here's some news to get excited over. Ys X Nordics, aka Ys 10 Nordics, is coming out. It's being released September 28, 2023. Now guys, I have to let you know, I'm a huge, big fan of the Ys series, spelled Y''S. I used to call it Ys back in the days. I mean, Y''S, right? But anyway, it's being released September 28, 2023 for the PS4, PS5, and the Nintendo Switch. Ys 10 Nordics takes place immediately after the events of Ys 2, Ancient Ys Vanished, the final chapter featuring a 70-year-old Adol Christian on his way to Celceta, accompanied by Dogi and Dr. Flair Rao. The game is set in the Obelia Bay, a bay filled with countless islands of all sizes, located north of Ispani and west of Gilead. Adol will encounter two factions, the Normans, seafaring people known for their powerful warriors, and their Griegers, mysteries, immortal beings that threaten the people of Obelia Bay. Ys 10 main heroine is Karja Balta, a Norman pirate who is the same age as Adol. Their relationship will be a significant highlight in the game's plot. The game setting and environment will be used on Normandy in France, in particular the content of Peninsula. Adol and Karja will be put into a situation where they have to work together in the prologue of the game. The story will be aimed towards a younger audience due to the Nintendo Switch's younger player base. It will revolve around the concept of the family. I don't know why people keep on thinking Nintendo and the Switch is for kids, man, for the younger audience, man. they've been beating that dead horse for a long time. And speaking of Nintendo being for kids and the younger generation, check out my videos, guys, where I talk about and explain why Nintendo is for everybody and not just for the younger audience. Now, moving into the final news. Well, it's not really news, but just something, an accessory I like to show you guys. Alright, now, and for a final news item, I like to show you guys, man, this controller, this custom gold Zelda plated controller that I got from XL Team off Etsy. So for you guys that's into custom controllers for any system, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, PS5, Xbox, whatever, you can check out XL Team. They make custom controllers. They have an assortment of controllers that's customized that you can choose from. Let you guys get a good look. And to sweeten the pot, you can also get your name engraved in the controller, which I think is pretty dope, by the way. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoy the news items that I revealed to y'all today. And how many of you guys are excited for the Yeez 10 release? And what do you think about the Activision and Microsoft closing the deal, and how do you feel about Call of Duty and Activision titles coming to Nintendo future consoles? Let me know how you feel in the comment section, and tell me what you think about that customized Zelda gold plated Pro controller with my name engraved in it, man. I think that's pretty dope, pretty badass, man. Like and subscribe if you're new to my channel. You know what it is. Red Crimson, the Game Master, man. I'm out of here.